whether it's your finances, whether
Absolutely.
it's if you're meditating or doing some yoga.
Absolutely.
You're changing. You're using.
But all those things apply to lifestyle.
Right.
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
And you're
Yeah.
changing the behavior, and the behavior is a part of the lifestyle. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, it was just this documentary I was checking out, me and my wife. It's on Netflix, and it talks about like finances, right? Dang, what is the name of it? But anyways, I just got into the first episode just to kind of seeing different people's approach on when it comes to coaching and helping people with different lifestyles. And it's so funny because they're going to these couples, right? And these couples have these goals that they want to achieve, whether it's buying a house, traveling, being out of financial debt, whatever the case may be. But there's a lack of communication between them. And this first episode exposes that. It's like these people have these goals for themselves, but they're not even communicating with their partner where they're at to move forward.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the biggest challenges, I think, is communicating with ourselves. Like you said, for your own health journey, you had to do all this for yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, you had to look within inside yourself. You had to ask, I'm pretty sure every question you asked in that book,
Absolutely.
you asked yourself at one point in time.
Still do.
Exactly.
Still do.
Yeah.
Still in practice of it.
So teaching other people how to ask the same questions of themselves is going to
Absolutely.
unlock what they need within themselves to get them to where they want to be in their own personal journey.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
And that's why I said coachability is huge, because if I'm in the practice of that, right, and I'm certain that being in practice of that is a good thing, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right? And you can go into other arenas of therapy or whatever you want to call it, coaching, and they agree that that's a good practice too. Not every individual that walks in the door is ready for that.
No.
Facts.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes that might be the exact thing that might make them want to go the other way.
Yeah.
Go back out the door, or at least try to fight and resist the type of coaching that they're coming to get, because that's not what fitness is.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to just come in here and jump up and down, run around. You're supposed to make me sweat.
Yeah, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, and I'm out of here.
You're not supposed to ask me what I'm feeling and how.
You know my
day-
first question, how I start my sessions?
Go ahead.
How are you feeling? Muscles, joints, ligaments, spirit.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
Tapping in with
Yeah,
yourself.
that's the first question I ask me and my coaches. How are you feeling today? Muscles, joints, ligaments, and spirit. Mind, body, spirit. How you feeling?
Yeah.
That's how we start.
Yeah. And a lot of us don't take the time to ask those questions of ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for you to take that time and create that space for people to say, no, let's check in first.
Yeah.
Before we do anything else, we're going to check in and see what we're feeling, because then we could address those things.
Absolutely.
And then more so, as we address those things, we can see what the root of everything is going on at this very moment.
And we can get some real results.
Exactly.
Some permanent results.
Absolutely. The check-in is so important. It's funny. I have clients, financial clients. They talk more about what's going on in their lives and actually the finances.
Yeah.
But because it's all inherently connected, and you got to check in with that person, because you can just go in and tell them what to do, but if they're not in the emotional state or the frame of mind to receive that information, you're just wasting both of your clients' time and your own client time, in my experience at least.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, we kind of talked about this during the music break, but what was your experience during the time when COVID hit and then you didn't have your clients directly in front of you? Things were starting to switch. Did you take your business into like a virtual model, or how was that transition for you?
I did everything.
You did a little bit of everything?
I never closed. Can I say that?
Hey, that's in the past.
That's in the past.
Yeah.
No. So one of the things I did, I invested into my business.
What did that look like?
So I started to, so assets. People talk about assets, but I realized that my number one asset is my members.
Yeah.
So I invested into my members, because they're, for my business and my brand, they're my number one asset. So I invested into them. But then I also invested into, I started setting up outdoor equipment. I bought equipment that I can take outdoors, including like racks. So I would go to the park, and when you come to the park, I would have the full rack set up outside, set it up, 2 of them, and then be able to break them down. I got these portable racks. I got these barbells that they unscrew like a sniper weapon.
Yeah.
And you can screw them back in. So I would unscrew them, put them in the car, take them there. So I was literally building the gym outside.
You had the mobile gym.
But I also was online too.
Okay.
Right. So. And then I was in person for the people who were still coming in person, but we had the windows closed. So I did everything that I needed to do, and I adjusted. But for me, it was just an opportunity to grow, not an opportunity to fold.
Yeah, because a lot of businesses shut down. Like a lot of trainers, got out of the profession during that time. I know I was training out of 2 gyms at that time. I was training out of West Oakland and Richmond. And when the gyms weren't opening their doors anymore, I had to figure something out, because this was like, the bread and butter for my family. So I told my clients, hey, those that are interested in doing some online classes, we can do some virtual, just like you. Those that are still okay with meeting in person, we can do that as well.
Absolutely.
you know?
I did the same thing. Now, I did own a facility. I was partnered, and I was partnered with another company. I owned a facility in Oakland at the time, West Oakland. That facility did close on 27th and Telegraph.
Oh, okay, you were right around the corner. I was on 34th and Adeline.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I think
Ultimate Sports Academy, where they had the baseball camps and everything.
Yeah. So
there.
I was right there where First Fridays, the hub office. Yeah. My next door neighbor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that gym was called Body Mechanics. I was the owner of that facility.
The one across the street from them? Are you talking about? Or are you saying
No. They
came
in when that's F45. They came in when we were leaving out. They came in during the pandemic, but literally on the same side of the street.
Oh, okay.
Like their door, it's like a hair salon or something now.
Oh, okay.
But their door is right here. Our door was right there, literally side by side. But that facility did close because my partners closed it. Yeah. I didn't close.
Yeah. We got to keep it moving.
Yeah. I definitely didn't close. They did.
Yeah. So, like, after experiencing all that, right? You've been through the pandemic, still working, still coaching. What's the next step for you and your brand?
Now, today?
Yeah, moving forward.
Well, my to go to the biggest area of where that question leads to, my number one goal, because my brand has always been to be global. That's all I've ever thought about.
Okay.
I was taught never to let nobody make you mom and pop.
Yeah.
By some of the people who taught me in this business specifically. So I appreciate them for that, because when they would say that when I first came into the business, I was like, I didn't really know what they was talking about. Yeah. But then as I continued in the business myself, I would always remember that. Never let nobody make you mom and pop. And so my own reflection of my business and my brand, plus the things I was taught, my idea was always to be global. I currently do have members in Kuwait and Nigeria, but most of my members are, and I don't like the word clients, members, most of my members are here in the States. But for my brand to be global, that's the number one thing for me if we're talking about where I see my business and brand going, global.
Wow. And do you see it going global virtually, or do you want to actually have facilities around the world? What does that vision actually look like?
Yeah, both, right? But I also have apparel, I also have equipment, I also have the book. So when I say the brand going global, I mean all aspects of it, including the fitness, including the apparel, including the book and everything else that's in line behind, that's within the umbrella. Yeah.
If somebody only had to read one chapter, if they were like, you can only read one chapter of that book, what would you say is the most valuable chapter for somebody to check out if they only have one? The first chapter.
The reason that's the most valuable, because if you read the first chapter, you're going to want to read more. So
Gotcha.
All right, you give them some, they're going to want some more. But also because the first chapter covers what the basis of the book is, and it kind of drops jewels for the rest of the book. So you get and the first chapter is not too technical. It's just the kind of setup and the premises of things to expect, and you can always come back and reference the first chapter. So the first chapter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, does the book have anything to do with you and your lifestyle, or just the principles and your philosophy?
So originally it was all just principles and philosophies, but an aunt of mine who kind of always tells me a lot of stuff and gives me some good game. You know what I mean? She's dope, and
everybody got to have an aunt like that.
Yeah. But she's really successful in life though. So she gives it to you 100% because she's really successful and she expects you to be successful.
When she tell you something, you sit there and listen.
Oh, I'm listening there. I like getting game. I that's one of the best. I think one of my best attributes is I can receive game. Everybody doesn't do that, right? So when I hear game being told, let me be quiet and listen. I'm a student, so I become a teacher later. But yeah, so just wait, what was your question again?
Oh man,
we started talking about game and all that. And I was talking about my aunt.
I think he asked around like, is the book just about like
your personal?
Or is it more?
So she said that I needed to put a little more personal stuff in there.
Yeah.
So
relatable.
So I put some personal stuff in there, and I think it did help out the book because I was able to put a little more personal stuff. But I got to give credit to my aunt for that.
Okay. Can you show the viewers and tell us the name of the book? And
the book is Train the Brain, and the Body Will Follow. That's a self-titled book, Train the Brain. And the body will follow. I'm gonna come around.
Yeah, I'm gonna show everybody. And check that out, y'all.
This is my first book. My first book I've ever written. You know, I got a second book, a follow-up coming up, and it's called Truth Through Experience.
Okay.
I talk about truth through experience in this book, Train the Brain and Body Will Follow. But yes, this is my first book.
Is it only available? How is it available? You got it available physically? Is there some ebooks? Is there some audio?
Yeah, I'm about to do the audio. Okay. I haven't done the audio, but it's available for download and physical books. Me being a true book reader, I love the physical book.
Yeah,
nothing can replace that for me. I do like the I know people like the audio because they get to listen and ride with it, so I get that part. But that book, that opening the book, turning the pages, tangible. Yeah, I love it.
I as a business advisor, I always, if you can, get them all three. But I tell authors, don't forget about the audio. It's a huge demographic of people who a lot of people they don't read books, they really don't read them no more, but they'll listen.
But you gotta think about people like yourself that has the visually impaired.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You don't even know that I'm legally blind.
Oh yeah,
I can't see your face right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm dead serious. But what I also, even before that though, is so it's like you're getting the story told to you through audio. Like I am a big fan of when the authors voice and narrate their own books, because it's like you're getting told a story almost in a sense, or you're getting told like motivation or reflections or anything like that.
Absolutely.
So that I definitely am a big fan of audiobooks.
Yeah, so audio is definitely coming. It's currently available in like I said, download and paperback, but the audio is coming.
Perfect. Definitely going to support.
So does Train the Brain have any upcoming events or anything going on for this upcoming summer?
I think I'm doing too many events. I was just
that's perfect. I like that. That's a great answer.
I think I'm like, am I spoiling people with all these events, especially within my own network? This Saturday, and I do I do events all the time. I'm always looking to invest into my demographic, my people, and anyone else that wants to come. So we have a chef. We have a meal prep program that we have. Okay. We sell meal preps, but this weekend we have our chef coming out doing like a tasting at our studio.
Giving little samples out.
Yeah. There'll be actual meals there. He'll be cooking on the spot too. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing that meal prep testing, and everybody can come out and meet the chef. That's this Saturday at our facility at 6 p.m.
Taking a chapter out of Costco, give them a little sample.
Absolutely, absolutely. But way better than Costco, because we don't really know what being them Costco grilled cheese sandwiches. And then I have a thing that I do once a month, kind of like with the goals. I do this thing called Baseline and Benchmark Wellness Camp, and I might bring in somebody like a company to come in. Like I've worked with Ranisha and them,
the Vegan Hood Chefs.
Vegan Hood Chefs. My bad, Ranisha. Vegan Hood Chefs. They've come out and done some events with me. But basically, what we do is we find out where people are. It's kind of like a big fitness assessment. We find out where people are. Give them. They don't have to be members. They just come out. They do it. We tell them, some ways to reach their goals, and we send them off, and they want to become a member, they can.
Oh, that's what's up.
So I'm always coming up with all type of different events all the time. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So we're getting towards the end of the show, and this is one of the questions that I haven't been able to ask you yet. But what does your routine for yourself look like? Like when you
first thing I do, so I pray like twice before
when you first wake up.
Day. Yeah,
Okay.
So I pray before I even get out of bed. I meditate before I even get out of bed. Also, all of my members, I have this thing called DFMs, Daily Fitness Minutes. And one of the things that we do with our Daily Fitness Minutes is we foam roll and we stretch. So that's part of my daily routine too. I start my day, foam roll, stretch. Then I pray again as I'm heading out to do whatever I'm going to do.
What have you found in the power of prayer and starting off your day with prayer?
Oh man, everything is achievable.
Can you give us a little insight? Can you give us a little sauce on that?
Everything is achievable. It don't matter what it looks like in the person to person realm. It don't matter what doors might seem like they're closed. It don't matter what challenges. It don't matter who might have said no and who's not saying yes. If you really want to yes to something, if you really want to accomplish something, all you really have to do is pray and then put the work in behind the prayer.
Come on.
Right? You can't just pray and not be ready to put in the work. Yeah. But you also have to be confident in your prayer. You have to have a belief in what you're speaking. And then you have to have intuition. I pray for intuition too, so I can hear what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. So I can do that work.
And then take the action after.
Yeah. So one of the things when I'm praying is for great intuition so I can hear and pay attention to that. Because people have that little voice. Yeah. But they don't pay attention to it. They pay attention to the loud voices, the distractions. But if you can make that little voice loud, then
you see everything.
And you are able to put it into a progression and a lifestyle.
Okay. So you wake up, you pray twice. Yeah. We get on the foam roller.
Yeah.
What's the next thing that we do in the day?
Oh, well, I don't leave the house without taking a shower. So I take 2 showers a day. And then I just, I get prepared to go out and do what I love to do, which is change lives for the better.
Okay.
So one of the things I pray for, and I've never said this before.
Okay.
I pray for my members.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Individually.
Yeah.
I really do. And whoever's the first member that I'm giving this away, whoever's the first member, like the sessions that I have for the day. Yeah. I pray for that session as I'm going into the session. That's literally something that I just did that this morning. I have my member in Kuwait.
Yeah.
I prayed for the session and then every session to follow because I want the day to start the way that it's supposed to go with the flow.
Yeah.
So, I prepare for the day and I'm looking forward to the day. I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
Right. And so I like being an optimist, and I just pray that I'm always protected in utilizing that type of energy, right? And not letting any other energy change mine. So, yeah.
Do you train before you train your clients?
So for me, when it comes to my actual training, I train throughout the day. I find my little times here, and I love to jump in. Let me show you how to do it. And I got this thing. If I show you on one side, I got to do the other side. Yeah. Right now, everybody laughing that know what I'm talking about. I do. So if I do one side, I got to do my other side. Yeah. And they just wait for me to do the other. I already showed them. I'm like, now let me do my other side. But most of the time when I get my full training in is actually, it'll be like 10 p.m. 11 p.m.
Wow. Okay.
Right. Before I take that's why I take 2 showers. So before I take my second shower at night and I get ready for bed, that's when I usually get my full lift in.
Yeah.
So I do stuff throughout the day, but after I've taken care of everybody else, then I go get mine in. And that's become kind of my routine.
That's your sauce right there. That makes you stay in that flow and that good space.
Yeah.
That's beautiful to see how everybody's a little bit different because I like getting mine in the morning because for whatever reason, when I get mine in the morning, when I train in the morning, it just sets the tempo for the day and everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I actually switch
and usually, I was about to say, usually for me too, when I do it at night, I'm up all night.
It's therapeutic for me for some reason. I do it at night and I'm like, it's the most calm time of the day for me. So my brain is always working and creating stuff. So from the moment that's one of the reasons I used to couldn't sleep because I was always creating in the middle of the night because that's when it was the most quiet. So I think for me, when I train at night, it kind of quiets some of that stuff, and I get that last little bit of energy out.
Yeah.
I'm a creator, like to the fullest. So, like I said, when I wake up in the morning, I get that foam roll in, I get that stretch in, I jump in some of the people's stuff, but it's all about everybody that I'm going out to go change their lives.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, I get my full thing in.
So as a creator, how do you pick and choose what you want to invest your energy into? Because I know me, myself, same kind of way. I get downloads of all these amazing ideas and how they're all intertwined and how they're connected with what I'm currently doing and how it's part of my purpose. But how do you be like, okay, I can't focus on everything, because if I'm putting all this energy into all these different projects, then nothing's really getting done. How do you decide which one gets the full energy of what you want to put out there for your brand?
Well, kind of just making it a goal.
Okay.
Like how I said, I'm in the practice of the 30-day goal, the habit thing. So I'll make one of those things. I'll do the same thing for my business and my brand and my creativity. Like, for instance, that's the only way I was able to finish the book. I had to really focus on the book. Yeah. Completing the book had to become a goal. Yeah. And it took all my time. But I was happy with the time I committed to it because I was able to see it through. But I had to realize that other things could not get as much time. So there was some stuff I was doing for free that stopped. Yeah. I couldn't do none of that stuff I was doing for free no more, even though I enjoyed doing it. I was like coaching youth and doing all that. But in order for this to come out like it is right now today, I had to. So for me, I have to just prioritize, you know what I mean? And really focus on creating that thing and then going on to the next. Yeah, because I hear a lot of people with amazing, great ideas, and then they split their energy so many different ways. And it's like nothing gets done. And sometimes, you're like, hey, what needs all your energy right now? Like, out of all these things, that book is probably opened so many doors for you. Absolutely. And continue to change so many people's lives as your mission and your purpose. So that had to take the energy, and now so many things come from that. Well, what you just said, understanding that there's something that deserves all your energy. Yeah, exactly. It's only going to be for a certain amount of time till you see it through. But for that time that's needed, it deserves your energy. Yeah. It deserves your focus. It deserves your effort. And you need to be okay with that. You got to be okay with that. You got to be strong enough and wise enough to identify what that is. And if you can do that, then you just unlock the solution, because the solution is always in the problem, right? So it's not a problem to be creative. It's just a problem not to actually create and finish it. It's not created until you finish it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So if you can let our viewers know, because, man, we definitely have